1.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
Morning, everybody.
Very excited to hop into this next episode of Mad Men.
Yeah,
The last episode, we kind of got a taste of the old Don Draper there.
we did. You know, he was kind of battling a very large Roger screw up. Man, that got to the point where he was threatening Pete physically.
Yeah, he was gonna attack Pete in the office.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude.
And you know who actually did the good job of finally getting Roger talked down? It wasn't Pete, it wasn't Don, it wasn't Bert. All of them tried. It was Joan.
Yeah.
Joan's just like, I don't want to hear it. You know, the world has moved on. There's, my husband's going to be in a war soon. I don't want to hear your war stories. Just, it's time.
She's got a hold on him.
She does.
Roger loves Joan. Like, he just straight up does.
And I think he trusts her and listens to her more than anybody when it comes to like life.
No,
not about business, but about life in general, like who he is and how he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
He listens to her.
So obviously they had their affair,
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like for Roger it was a bit more than that.
I do too. I think he was secretly in love with her.
I do. I think he really is. In the episode with the lady with the dog food, who was his older mistress when he was a young man,
right?
He kind of lamented to her there was somebody else.
Right.
She wasn't the one, and obviously we took that as Joan. And
well, he married Jane at that point.
He did marry Jane, but I never thought he was talking about her. Because the moments we've seen her, I don't doubt that there's some form of love there.
Sure.
But they're just so different. And the scenes that we do get with the two of them, he's either drunk, she's either drunk. There's that one episode where he called Joan when she's passed out next to him,
Right. Yeah, I think it's a situation of Roger married her to feel younger.
Yeah.
And it didn't work,
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was Pleasantville where the mom was going out. The mom in the present time, Toby Maguire's mom, said that she was going out with a younger guy, and she said, "It doesn't make me feel younger; it makes me feel older."
I haven't thought of Pleasantville in a while. That's a good movie.
It is, but I feel like that's kind of the same thing. I think Roger just wanted a young, beautiful wife to feel like he's still young himself.
I agree.
And I think that's not. It doesn't work that way for the most part.
He's a man who doesn't know what he wants. It's kind of like Don.
Sure. He's an older version of Don.
He doesn't want to get older.
No.
However, he very much is a man of his time because we saw how awful he acted in this last episode.
Sure.
He was horribly racist.
Right.
And somebody on Patreon pointed out, try to see where Roger's coming from. I see where he's coming from.
It's his war history with the Japanese. I get it, but
it doesn't excuse it.
No.
And everybody there had the same feeling of, hey, it's been 20 years. There's people that do business with BMW that don't say those things to these people.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we can understand where he's coming from and why he feels that way, and also agree that his behavior was abhorrent.
Also, do you really think Don is acting that way towards people of Korean descent? I really doubt it. You know what I mean? I really doubt it.
Right.
Don being in the Korean War, that's why I say that. You know what I mean? But
sure. Well, and again, it comes back to when Roger was telling his war story to Don and Betty, he really didn't have one. Their big war story was that they saw a Japanese plane and shot it down way far off in the distance. By the time they got there, the guy was dead.
And look, I'm sure he has some trauma because you're in the water.
Of course, yeah. Exactly. There's that constant fear that you're actually in a war. I get all of that, but it's not like he was nose to nose in combat.
Because we've heard other war stories in the show,
right?
Freddie had some stories. Don had stories. So even Gene,
Right. I'm just saying,
different. Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying that the marks of war on a man are not unique to Roger, and nobody's handled them as poorly as he is.
He's doing a rough job here.
Right.
And also, a lot of the characters are definitely, they've lost their footing, so to speak. Except for Pete, really. Pete has been the only one that's really been killing it.
Pete's a rock, isn't he? Pete has been.
It's his time.
And there are times I've hated Pete a lot on this show, but not right now.
But I think that's intentional, though. I think it's time to show that it's the changing of the guard, right?
It is.
These older guys, Roger, Don, they're kind of having trouble fitting in, but Pete's really rising right now. And even Peggy. Peggy's doing a great job, too.
Yeah, Peggy and Pete are kind of on the upswing.
Yeah, because of the young, the youth there,
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to get hopping into this episode, guys. If you're watching this on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you don't mind hitting the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below, and All right, if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've come your way.
Absolutely. If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. If you're seeing this on YouTube right now, we are at least 4 episodes ahead of there. So if you'd like to see the next 4 episodes, Patreon is the way to go.
Greyhound, the cure for the common bus.
Oh, Greyhounds.
Lazy Boy, the cure for the common chair. Budweiser, the cure for the common beer.
This is the guy's whole book, yeah.
Cure for the common chair. That's Roger's favorite. Roger Sterling. He's the guy I shook hands with when I came in. Well, you know what they say. Aspiration's as good as perspiration.
That's not how it goes.
Oh, you've got the inspiration part.
Wish you the best of luck.
Best of luck in what?
What do you mean?
In whatever you do.
You trailed off.
We'll let you know. We're very behind. Your new art director has been waiting for synchronicity, which involves me coming up with a bunch of ideas, chasing him down, and having him draw all of them.
And don't think you can spend Monday hiding behind corners and trying not to make eye contact. I will find you.
I'm not the problem.
You are.
Well, good luck this afternoon.
You're not supposed to say that.
Oh, well, break a leg.
Yeah, there you go.
So, when does he start?
The first of never.
Well, you haven't been married for a while, so you've probably forgotten how these transactions work. If I don't hire Jane's cousin, it's probably going to cost me a personal gift expenditure.
So I can show you what's popular, what's unique, and the only thing I ask is that you call me Don.
Well, Don, I can't say I know my furs that well. Why wait for a man to buy you a fur coat? That's a dumb question. Who does your work?
I do.
Really?
Look at that. Can I give you a call?
First of all, you need 20 of those. And second of all, no. You don't know what it is. The guy in the elevator thought it was a hydrogen bomb.
It's a beautiful box.
Skip the radio play. Open it.
So this affair went on way longer than we thought it did.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
John slipped
Noah's
his
Ark.
book in. What a great juxtaposition for the kid doing
Wow.
Joan! What's keeping them?
Life.
it. God.
That's funny.
Our friends at the cereal company have been grounded in Philly due to wind.
What's good about that?
And the bad news is, we only have an hour before we're due at the Cleos.
Is Joan going with you?
Yes. We only had 4 tickets.
There'll be a lot of other people's clients there.
I think he's really jealous about this award thing, isn't she?
Yeah,
For
she is.
sure, yeah.
She's ambitious. She wants to go. Sure.
Are you going to use the KKK to sell cough drops?
Better than waiting on you to bring me something that'll get my juices flowing.
Should I get Megan back in here? Maybe she's not repressed. Have you been yelled at by Don yet?
Not scared of him.
So that's a no.
You should be.
He said Monday, and I'm not working this weekend.
Okay. Jesus.
I hear the old team's getting back together.
What team?
Phil, that's not a sure thing.
Are they going to bring Kenny back to the agency? Because I really hope so.
Please.
Are we merging with Geyer?
It's going to break
Talk to Lane.
Pete's brain.
Off to Lane.
If you really worked on the Johnson campaign, why are you here?
Because nobody at DDB even keeps track of who does what. Except the Daisy ad. Big deal.
Let me tell you, I had a lot to do with Glowcoat. A lot. The idea especially.
She really is upset about
kid?
this.
Don put the whole cowboy thing on it. I don't know if it was that revolutionary. I know I'm not supposed to go, but when the nomination came in, Don let everybody pat him on the back. He didn't even look at me, and I was right there.
I'm gonna riff for a few minutes and just sort of speechitize the whole Vic's experience.
Should I come back when you're through?
No, Toots, grab a pencil.
Why don't you write down my ideas?
Look, I've read your brochure. I have no interest in the temperance movement.
The winner is Glowcoat, Billy the Kid.
Wow, they did win.
Food and drinks.
Thank you.
What's going on,
Almond
dear?
Royal.
Well, I ran
Fairy
over
Tale,
because
Earl
the people from
Winky,
Life Cereal rented a car, and now they're waiting at the
Animals,
office.
Benton and
Right
Bowles,
now?
and
We say we put a
Welch's
cherry on
Frozen
this
Grape
thing.
Juice,
Aye,
Richard
aye.
K. Manoff of
Really?
New York.
Yeah, Pete's like,
Wrap it up quickly, gents. We have an after party to attend.
Thank you, Roger.
they're trashed.
Okay, everybody ready?
John looks trashed.
Fix your hair.
I like the bowlful, but I think it's kind of smart for regular folks. You know? The irony, I guess. When I go back to Chicago, all they're gonna want to hear is a slogan. And I don't think this is gonna cut it. Well, Why don't we let Don work that over? Or we can come see you in Chicago.
I got it, Pete.
No.
Ooh, Pete.
How about
Pete, shut this down.
enjoy the rest of your life? Cereal.
Don, they're not expecting you to do this right now.
Give me a second. Life. Life, the cure for the common breakfast. Life, its sweetness never ends. Life, eat it by the bowlful.
Cure for the common breakfast. Love it.
Got the health angle. Breakfast. That's hilarious.
Life makes you feel
He
better.
just stole
It's got
it from
protein.
that kid.
It's the most fun I ever had in New York.
Anytime, fellas.
Very good then.
That Peggy looks like she's gonna kill him.
Can I speak with you a moment?
Yeah,
you
Yoki just did,
I
man.
really need to talk to you.
Ida, book a nice room with a lock on it for Misters Olson and Rizzo. Bill it to Vix. Don't come out until you have something.
Are you kidding?
Okay, now I see a rift growing with Peggy here for sure.
Are we merging with Geyer?
No.
Really? Well, I ran into Ken Cosgrove and Clarence Birdseye at the Cleos.
It came to me that Mr. Cosgrove was unhappy and that he and his choice clients would be a welcome addition to the firm.
You've never liked me. You picked him over me to begin with,
Well,
and now you
called this,
expect me
didn't
to
you?
work
Said
with
there
him
was a
again?
big rift between these two.
Approval denied.
Roger Sterling is a child. And frankly, we can't have you pulling the cart all by yourself.
Just say, Pete, it's okay. He's working for you.
Yeah. It's like, Pete, you can't pull the cart by yourself. That's a great line to tell somebody.
Mr. Cosgrove and I are having lunch on Monday. If your tantrum has subsided, you're welcome to join us.
But I know you're his favorite. I bet he takes you hunting and lets you carry the carcasses in your mouth.
Oh,
Are you gonna
that's
work or
mean.
just stare at pictures of women who can't stare back? You don't know anything about me.
I know you're ashamed of your body. Or you should be, at least.
What?
You're lazy, and you have no ideas.
Really?
Yeah. Let's go. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
So you use cough drops when you're sick in bed, on a car trip, at the movies,
She's focused.
and in church. Anything you'd like to add? Maybe I should dip that thing in some ink and write with it.
Stop looking.
Thought I might make it go away.
He did call her out for being uptight.
He
And
did.
he's the one he's more uncomfortable now than she is.
You know what? Fine.
Point proven.
So you finally decided to pick up the phone. Where the hell are you?
Who is this?
It's me. Where the hell are you? It's noon. I know you don't care that Henry and I were supposed to go to a very important brunch, but I
I'm
can't
with
get
Betty
Carl
on this
anymore.
one.
She's in church.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm coming on Sunday.
It is Sunday.
Really sorry, Bets. I'm under the weather.
Well, thank you for the notice, Don. Thanks a lot.
Is everything okay?
Different night, different girl.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So he sleeps the whole day away again.
Wow. Dude.
That's depression right
That is
there.
depression big time.
What's the problem?
I know you don't want to hear this, but the Life cereal tag you sold, it was that kid's.
Call Life and tell them it's terrible and we changed our minds.
They loved it.
It's terrible.
Well, neither you nor the client was in a condition to notice.
Think of 10 more tags.
No. I've been working all weekend with that pig in that stupid hotel room. I'm tapped out.
What hotel room?
Wow. I would be so mad at him.
You have to bring him in right away. Tomorrow. Fix it.
That's good. That's pretty much how I pitched it.
It's true. I only changed one little thing.
I've been thinking about things, and there was a slogan in your book. The cure for the common something.
Bus, beer, chair, which one?
All of them.
I'm gonna give you $50 for the idea.
I'd like a job.
Fine, $100. It'll be freelance work. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's not a job.
Take the money.
I don't need money. I need a job.
You wouldn't even be in this room if you weren't related to Roger.
But I am. That's all I have.
If you're open to the direction and tenor of the business I'm doing here, I think you'd be a great addition to my team.
How's that supposed to mean?
Look, Ken, everyone here likes you, but this is a small shop, and I need to know you can do as told.
Power move.
He just wanted
So-
that.
Yeah.
Take Danny over to Joan. He's starting next Monday.
He's like his
Are you
mouth
kidding?
is by his chest. He really is tiny.
Yeah.
You will not. be sorry.
Go away.
They're really playing it. That's funny.
Oh, for sure.
You told me to come in.
The hell I did.
You hired me.
Same deal. He was drunk.
What?
Yeah.
When?
Yesterday. You said, welcome aboard.
Or is Don lying because he knew he was drunk?
I
Because I didn't hear him say it.
I know, but I think he's being genuine. I just think that well, I don't know. Don's Mr. Fake It Till You Make It, so
Right.
if he got
He lied.
no.
He did not say it.
Wow,
That was cool. He was lying.
Right, so this whole episode, it's kind of like, oh yeah, Don is becoming Roger.
Yeah,
I think
right.
that last shot's kind of like, nah,
No.
he's not.
No, he's not.
He's different. He's a different beast. Okay, so there's a lot to. Season 4 has been so jarring just because of like the tone, like tonally, it's very. It's not a different show.
No,
but the themes are much different now.
Well, we're getting cracks in Dawn that we didn't really get, in terms of the bleed over into work.
Sure.
Like he's always been a mess.
Okay, I almost want to take that back because it kind of is a different show now. Like we don't have the home life aspect that we did before.
Right.
It's not. It's not. I'm this guy at home and I'm this guy at work now.
Right.
It's, I'm this guy all the time.
I'm a mess all the time.
And this guy is sad. This
Right.
guy's a sad sack, man. And it's interesting because we did West Wing on Monday, and that episode it was the John Spencer addiction episode where it shows alcoholism in a certain way.
Yeah.
This also does that, but in a completely different way, and they're both fantastic.
More show instead of tell here.
Exactly, and it's hard to watch almost because of how sad it really is.
Yeah, this is a rough Dawn. Obviously, he's still killing it at work, but I'm starting to get a sense with Peggy that we had here, the conflict building with her, that Dawn's doing less and less of the work.
I was going to say.
And Peggy's the one kind of propping him up a little bit.
Is he standing on the shoulders of people, and that's how he gets his awards? That's kind of what Roger's whole thing is too, right? Like Roger stands on the shoulders of people. What do you actually do here? And he's like, I find people.
Don
found him.
Right. Don is standing on Peggy's shoulders, and Roger is standing on Don's shoulders.
We said it earlier. It's a change in the guard, man. This is how these things work, right? Crap rolls downhill.
Yeah.
And these people prop themselves up in the success of people below them, and that's interesting.
That is so America,
Yeah.
But yeah, when Don asked him, like, aren't you? Didn't you have a struggle to break in? No. Because Daddy owned the company, there never was a struggle for Roger. And I'm not saying he didn't earn his job. He's good at his job. He obviously, can keep up the schmoozing with. I mean, really, all he really does is keep up the schmoozing with Lee Garner Jr.
Yeah. You take clients out, you wine and dine them.
Right. He basically is a guy that can party with the basically just the Lucky Strike people is all he really does.
That seems to be like what these rich business people are there for, is to drink and to court people, basically.
Well, remember, we got that in this episode of how empty Roger is as a professional because he's trying to do his memoirs and he can't think of a work story. He's talking about ice cream and stuff.
I like chocolate. I'm other only less vanilla.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, oh, wait, I think I thought of a work story. You don't have any because you haven't really done the work.
He hasn't lived a life.
No.
And the life... If Roger was going to write a memoir, it'd be much more like The Wolf of Wall Street or something.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's just debauchery.
Right. I agree. Yeah.
And that's entertaining to an extent, but it really shows how empty this is, Yeah. And
there's not a lot of there with Roger.
Right?
Yeah.
And you know what? We talked about how, Don is standing on Peggy's shoulders. In many ways, he's standing on this kid's shoulders, too. He literally pitched his idea and is forced to give him a job.
Right.
Very different to how he got his job.
Sure.
And I don't know if that's a sign of, like, the times are changing or if it's just
I just think it's the natural life cycle of that kind of business.
Really what it is the people that you want to hire you catch them messing up and then you get your way in there.
I mean, really.
Don got Roger drunk, slid his way right in.
Well, I just...
Don got drunk, this kid slid right in.
Well, it's not a meritocracy, right?
Yeah.
Don got Roger drunk and lied and said, you hired me. So then he was in. This guy, Don, got drunk and kind of pitched his idea, and then he's in. But no one's, like, really getting their stuff by earning it through hard work.
Mm-hmm.
It's all circumstance, I stumbled into this job in a very stupid way. The one person who's earned it is Peggy. And she was the one having the worst time in this episode.
Yeah, she was in the hotel with a pig. Is literally what she called him.
Yeah,
and she handled it well.
She handled it better than I would have.
And I hate the pretension of that guy being like, nude modeling is my inspiration.
Right. Yeah, you wouldn't understand because you're so square about how open-minded and free I am.
Like, there's a fine line between art and smut there, buddy. Come on.
Well, it was just being so smug about all of it. It was all crap. She called him out on it. You're just lazy. I don't have anything because I'm not inspired. You don't have anything because you're not doing anything.
To come up with a kid sucking on cop drops in church.
Right, yeah.
You need to be naked for that, really?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she seems to be the one person who's really, really working. Joni is, man, the women seem to be doing better than the men are at kind of handling their crap right now on the show, you know?
I think the biggest slap in the face for Peggy is when Don's like, "What hotel room?"
Yeah, the fact that he can't even remember. He gave her a drunken, awful command that she had to, what she had to do.
Yeah.
I would have been pretty mad at him. I would have been furious with him after that.
I think, okay, so I do think Don will get clean eventually, and I think it's going to take Peggy to come in and be like, this is what has to happen. You are off the rails right now.
It makes sense from her more than anybody.
Who else is going to listen to?
Right.
I mean, not to say that he listens to Peggy, but at the same time, she's the only one that can maybe break through him because
she does get his attention, doesn't she?
She does.
When she wants his attention, she gets it.
And I don't think he likes to admit how right she is sometimes. Never. He can never be wrong.
No, he really can't be wrong.
And we got a moment of pet Betty finally, and
you know what?
Betty was right.
Betty went off on Don, but Don deserved every word of it or more. I'm on Betty's side on that. You drunkenly missed visitation with your kids while Betty and Henry miss out on their weekend plans because of it. Yeah, it's like, we can't go do what we were going to go do today because you got too drunk to show up and pick up your kids. Yeah. That's on Don. That is not Betty being a bad mother or Betty being a bad ex or whatever. That's all Dawn.
You know, he better count his blessings because she can just take the kids away.
I mean, seriously.
I mean, I wonder if it will come to that if he doesn't slow down, and if that's his bottom is that you lose your kids, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
you know, it's a different time, and if Dawn's not, paying the support, and not only that, but
that's his answer to everything. Though, is throw money at it.
Sure. But I mean, if you're talking about dealing with your ex and their kids, money's going to be a big part of it.
Sure.
But she also has mountains of blackmail available on him. She knows his whole story of every terrible thing that he's done to become Don Draper.
She told a random waitress named Doris his name.
He told the waitress his name was Dick. He let that slip. Like, he's cracking, right? That's just another moment of these. The cracks are showing.
Don is a powerful guy. I think he has strong willpower, and I think this is like a self-pity party. So I wonder if he can just come out of it on his own without intervention. If he can just be like, I'm done doing this, done feeling so. Because he can have a drink. We've seen that many times, right?
I think he can come out of it on his own, but he's going to have to bottom out somewhere, and I don't think this was it.
I think this is so he's an addict for sure, but I think it's less addiction and it's more depression, like you said.
It is depression.
I think he's depressed. I don't think he doesn't care about anything.
The simple fact that he slept. I would say he slept most of the weekend, because when the waitress Doris woke up and says, "I can't believe he slept so long," he takes a shower, drinks drinks some more rye, and goes back to bed all day until Peggy comes over in the evening.
Yeah,
that's depression, man. That's not being hungover. He's sleeping 24 hours
not
almost in there.
What day it is.
Yeah, exactly. That's depression.
Yeah, it's dark stuff, man.
In a time where there is no outlet for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is no, you got the blues. This was a time period where people didn't understand depression at all. And it was stigmatized of like, well, stop being so sad. You're rich. Well, he's got real things going on here.
Yeah, money doesn't solve everything, right?
Right. So, I mean, we'll see, but I think you're right. I think there's a chance Don gets himself out, but I don't think we've seen rock bottom yet. I think it's going to be something big. I think he's going to blow something huge at work. I think he's going to blow something huge with his kids, but it's going to be bigger than this. It's going to be huge.
It's to the point to where every time they go into a business meeting, we're a little nervous. Like in this episode, the life.
Pete looked like he was about to lose it on him because he was out of control.
Pete is him and Lane are the two people that are keeping this business afloat.
Yeah, which is nice because now that we add Kenny back into it, I feel like Kenny can be that person too, and Peggy.
I don't think Kenny's going to have much say because of Pete. I think Pete's going to stifle anything that Kenny brings to the table. I think that he's going to be prejudiced against it. And he's like, no.
He's going to be someone that Kenny has to fight, but I feel like there's going to be a point where Kenny's going to win.
Because he's, I mean, yeah,
because he's right.
It's a good idea.
Right. Yeah. Because ultimately the good idea has to win. Right.
Yeah.
Everyone had to beat Roger out of the Honda stuff. Right. The good idea has to win at some point.
Yeah.
If you're going to run a business, and I think Pete is largely defined by greed. And I understand that, right? He's got a wife and a kid on the way. He said it to Roger the last episode when they're trying to get Honda.
Yeah.
So I think if it's the good idea, Pete's going to run with it.
Do you think? I think it's. I think greed is maybe the right answer, but at the same time, I think it is this. I think it's a power. I don't know. I think a little bit of it to be recognized.
Sure.
Would be great. You know.
Right.
Because he seems a bit insecure.
Oh, he is.
You know.
Yeah.
So I just think it's recognition, but maybe it is greed. Money makes the whole thing go round, right?
Right. And again, I don't think Pete was terribly wrong in this. The last time he was working with Kenny, he was told he was going to be vice president, and then they decided to split it and not tell him.
Thing. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like I want to make sure that I'm above you, and as long as I'm above you, we're cool.
It's a power.
Right.
Yeah. So,
they may work together just fine, just so long as Kenny plays ball with Pete being in charge.
Which we'll see about that. Ken's a reasonable guy, but how much can you take?
Sure, but Ken is also a really talented, smart guy that the clients like, and I think that has to go a long way.
I do too.
If the clients trust him to move their accounts from one firm to another firm to stay with him, Kenny has incredible value.
He's a smart guy too. He recognizes his position.
Yeah, and I've always liked Kenny.
I do too.
You know, there were times
one of my favorites
that,
of the show.
that you know there were times like everyone else in the show where he's been a little bit piggy. You know, the thing where he pulled, the girl's underwear and everything. There are times I did not care for Ken for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Different times, I guess you can say, or whatever. You know, that wasn't recognized as the level of horror, horrific behavior that it is now and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. Overall, I really like Kenny, and I want to see him thrive at this new company.
I do too.
All right, we'll catch you in the next one, guys.
See ya.